So we're going to take a look at my setup that I have for this still life. What I did is I found some objects that you can easily find in your house. Anything that I have a Wii controller, I have a book, I have a small brush, I have some toys for my daughters. And what I'm trying to do is add some sort of intrigue. I want some challenging objects that you're going to use. So I have got, the controller I think is a little bit challenge. I also have that fire extinguisher that's going to add some different difficulty, and then I have everything arranged in what I think is like a sort of unique composition. If you'll notice off to the left, I have a light, and that light is going to provide me with that sort of chiaroscuro, that darkness and lightness. So what I've got is a light casting on over here, and I can even manipulate this a little bit like that. And it also helps to have a darkened room so that when you're doing this, you can see all the dark shadows. I'm filming this, and it's pretty light out, so it's not able to give you those really hard contrasts. So this is how we're generally going to set it up. I'm going to stop the video now and I'm going to show you how I got this whole arrangement created. So we're going to start this off with how I set up my initial still life. And what I've done is I've grabbed some big books and I'm trying to add different tiers, okay, different levels to which I can place these objects. So I have, this is the base level, I have a big book, can really be anything that you want. And then I've got this, a shoebox could work. And so I'm trying to create different tiers. And so when I have my objects, that way I can do something like this, which is a little bit more interesting than, say, having it just sit like that on the table. So I may do something like this, and I may do something like that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a sheet that I have in my house. It's a darker sheet. So if you have a black sheet, or you have, a white sheet will be fine too. But I like using the dark contrast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of drape this fabric over my books as such, so that it has this nice little setup scene. So as you can see it, I've sort of set this whole little area up. Now it comes time to placing the objects. So what I'm going to start doing is placing objects in this scene as I think that they're going to fit. And I have a photograph from the original setup. That's how I'm going to place all the objects. So the furthest most thing I'm going to place is going to be this, which is going to be my fire extinguisher. I kind of like how it looks. It's going to add some interest. I'm going to move my light source over so I can get it more into lighting. I have a small box and I have some books that I'm going to place. So I'm going to place my books over here. And I can change them around as I see fit, and I may like that it looks a little bit better for that sort of arrangement. I have one of my daughter's blocks. Another thing is I have my Wii controller. Remember what I said, the reason we have these different levels is you can add some sort of interest. So I'm going to do this sort of thing and have it kind of lay caddy off, maybe do something like that. Then I got a book that I'm going to open up and I'm going to fan it out. I think this looks kind of interesting like this. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place any other objects that I want in the composition. And then finally I'm going to place this. I just think this is really interesting. Maybe it's going to be a little bit difficult. The original placement I had would maybe somewhere different. Doesn't necessarily matter. So I'm going to do that. And this is what I'm going to end up drawing.